star taking over Broadway. Nightline co-anchor Dan Harris talks with Panic at the Disco's Brendon Urie about stepping into a new role in some signature footwear.
He's the man with a strong voice, a strong message.
I saw all the marriage equality posts, and that made me happy.
And an even stronger following. Brendon Urie, the lead vocalist of pop rock band Panic at the Disco.
I signed in with a haven't you people ever heard of closing the damn door, no.
Rising to fame in 2005 with the hit single I Write Sins, Not Tragedies. Newer songs such as Death of a Bachelor, multiple albums have kept him in the spotlight with devoted fans for more than 12 years. From sold-out tours to selling out the Hirschfield Theater, Urie making his Broadway debut in Kinky boots. How did you end up going to Broadway?
I've always wanted to do musical theater since I was a kid. I was raised on musicals. We had a live version of Les Mis that I watched religiously. I thought it was so great.
But it was an unexpected fan, Cyndi Lauper, who took the role as a Broadway fairy godmother. The legendary singer of Girls Just Want to Have Fun with a big voice and a big personality.
We were looking, and she said, "Hey, did you ever see Panic in the Disco?" And I said, "Yeah."
Along with her manager, handpicking Urie to star as Charlie Price in the Tony Award-winning musical.
How would you say that Brendon's doing in this job?
He's fantastic. Are you kidding me? I saw him the first night, and I knew.
Night after night, Brendon bringing down the house as he raises theatergoers up.
I think that he brings a lot of life to this show, and I also think he could be a movie star if he wanted. You know, he just has the natural ability. The world is his oyster.
That natural ability was discovered at a young age. Brendon Urie, born into a Mormon family. At some point, you decided the church was not for you.
Yes, it was a pretty early age, actually. And I kind of drifted in and out just to please my parents, you know, for a few years, probably 3 to 4 years, from the time I was 12 to about 16, just trying to not be disrespectful to their wants and needs.
Ironically, it was Sin City where he found his voice.
I was born in St. George, Utah. My family moved all of us to Las Vegas when I was, I think, like 2.5. My mom says the first memory she has of me in the new house in Vegas was opening up the cabinets when she had just packed all the pots and pans away, pulling them out with like wooden spoons and just like banging on everything. It was like drums. I just wanted to make noise. I wanted to be heard.
And eventually he would be, by Pete Wentz from Fall Out Boy, who signed the band in 2004. How did Panic get started?
Panic got started in high school. Our first bass player had gotten kicked out of his school, so instantly I liked him. He came into my guitar class. He was wearing a band shirt, a Thrice t-shirt. We both really liked that band Thrice. I went up to him, I was like, "Hey man, I love Thrice. Let's talk music." We just started playing together, and I was like, "Oh, so you play bass?" And he's like, yeah. I was like, "Oh, I play guitar." He's like, "Oh, we need a guitar player. Our guy can't make a couple shows. Would you fill in for us for 2 shows?" I said, "Absolutely." And he introduced me to the band, and that was the first iteration of Panic at the Disco.
6 months later, Panic at the Disco put out their first demo.
And then from then it was just a whirlwind of beautiful chaos. I don't even know.
The band went through a cycle of various members over the years, but Urie remained a constant, as did his passionate fan base.
It's a lot. Do you have time? I mean, is this like one day's fan mail? Or?
No, this is a couple weeks.
Urie using his popularity on social media to discuss issues he cares about with his fans.
And she apologized. She says, "I'm sorry in advance for being so formal in this letter, but that's adorable."
There's a video that got a lot of attention of you getting emotional when marriage equality was passed by the Supreme Court.
Even talking about it now, I'm starting to get a little choked up. It's gonna be great. I remember that. That day was so huge. You know, I've been a huge advocate for just human rights in general, and you know, a big portion of our fans are part of the LGBTQ community, and I feel an affinity, you know, having experimented in the past as a teenager, having been, you know, close friends with a lot of people who have been bullied for it, for being who they are.
Urie, who married his wife Sarah in 2013, says he feels a close sense of connection to his LGBTQ fans.
I feel a part of the community, you know? Anyone who is homosexual or trans or pan or bi, has made me feel welcome. And I feel an affinity with them. We're a part of a community of humans, human beings.
After 5 years on Broadway, even a hit like Kinky Boots can always be refurbished. Urie adding a fresh soul.
When will I be the soul of a man?
The show's been around since 2013, and I would imagine when you've got a hit show like this, there's a lot of pressure to kind of keep it a hit. What impact has bringing in Brendon had on the energy here and the crowds, etc.?
I think a big impact. I think that he brought in a new energy, a new audience. You know, your audience followed you here.
His audience also following him outside with a stage door crowd shutting down the street just for a quick interaction.
This impact of the show just means such an impact on me and how I see the world and how I can be myself no matter what. He really means a lot to me.
Your connection with your fans, I would have to imagine how open you are is part of that. You talked a little bit about anxiety and depression. Do you talk about that with the fans? Is that okay?
Absolutely.
In what format?
Yeah, I've received letters from fans telling me, you know, their struggles with depression, with being bullied, with anxiety, with ADHD. Even if I have the slightest understanding, if I make anyone else feel more at ease with who they are, then that's the best thing. You know, whether or not we share that same thing, it's just comforting to me to know that I can give relief if it's at all possible.
So for the millions of fans who can't make it out to Broadway in time to see Brendon Urie rock those knee-high boots or hear a 4-octave range, no need to panic.
Your fans are incredibly motivated and loyal. I'm sure they're dying to know what you're going to do once you wrap up here on Broadway.
Definitely when I'm done with Broadway, more panic. I've been working on, you know, new beats, new lyrics, new song ideas.
Cyndi Lauper said she thinks you could be a movie star. Is that of interest?
Oh, absolutely. I would love to do movies. I'm a huge movie fan. And that was very cool of her to say.
For Nightline, I'm Dan Harris in New York.
Brendon Urie's last night on Broadway is August 6th. And coming up, he dances.